Hey guys, welcome back to my craft room and back to another craft room chat. I know it's been like a month since we've done a craft room chat, but with the Christmas in July, it's just kind of taken up all of my time. So we'll see. Maybe next month I'll be able to get back into the swing of craft room chat. I don't know though, I've got some pretty big plans coming up, so. But of course, we have to do our crafty book of the month. This one is Last Will and Testament by Molly McRae. Um, it kind of surprised me. Okay, I've got to tell you, I do not generally read the back because I want to be surprised. So I don't know. I guess I should have read the back after reading it and then told you. But there were a few twists and turns I was not expecting. Because it says on the cover, a haunted yarn shop mystery. But I was not expecting the extra supernatural twist. Because I don't want to give it away too much if you do end up reading it. But basically, we have a yarn shop. I kind of don't want to give too much away, but there's a lady named, okay, it's either Kat or Kath. It's spelled Kath, which I'm not sure how that would be said, because it's Catherine, I think I remember reading, but she goes by the Cat or Kath, and I think Kath just sounds weird. Like Kathy, I'm used to saying, but I feel like Cat is a good nickname. But basically, Kat comes home, well, home, it's not really her home, but her grandmother's home where she owns a house and then also a yarn shop. And her grandmother had just died, just passed away. And as she goes into town for her funeral, not funeral, because she doesn't like funerals, it was a burial. But basically, she gets into town and some crazy things are being said about her grandmother, and she's locked out of her grandmother's house, which is supposed to be willed to her. So she's not sure, where she's gonna go after that. And then she meets up with her lawyer, well, her grandmother's lawyer, his wife, and she offers her a place to stay in this like historical section of town. And it turns out that this place is haunted. So that's where the haunted part comes in. And some interesting things are brought to light. I'm going to say you probably will not guess the killer right away. I don't think that there's enough given to even really figure it out. I think it's one of those that you have to be told. Well, the writer did tell you right out. Like, there wasn't anything for you to figure out along the way, which I'm not too crazy about those kinds of books. I would rather be given slight little hints and kind of figure it out on my own. Which, I mean, I had like some crazy thoughts of, okay, this is definitely what happened. Okay, and then we meet this character. So then this same thing happened, but then this person was mixed in with it. And that ended up not even happening. So, yeah, it's a very good book in the beginning. Not so much in the middle. Like, there are some funny parts in the middle. I think it could have used some work. I think it was because it wasn't really propelling the story. It was just kind of filler, I felt like. I don't know if that's just me, personally. Like, I find that I get very bored with filler. I like to be constantly going. But I think that the end was pretty good too. I do feel like it was a little bit too rushed into finding out who the actual killer was, and you don't really have a play into what happened. It was just given to you. So that's kind of how I felt about that. Um, Trying to think of what else I can give without telling you everything about the book. There are recipes in the back. And there's also a sneak peek of, some recipes. The sneak peek of the second part of the book, or second part. So I think maybe the middle part was filler because it was trying to introduce more for the second book, maybe? I don't know. I didn't read the little splurge for the next book. I'm kind of thinking I probably won't go for the next one after reading, like, okay, the first half I would have been like, yeah, I'm going to get the second book and I'm going to, really enjoy it. But after reading the middle and the end, I'm kind of like, I might not pick up that second in the series. So, eh. I'm actually kind of surprised because they did a lot of talking about like different kinds of yarns and things, and I was very shocked about one of the sentences she says in there, and she talks about how the guy is like, well, why don't you go to the shop and relax, and you know what, why is my words not coming out here? He wanted her to go and relax and calm down by knitting and, I don't know if that's the proper term, but looming. Using the loom. And she was all like, oh, well, you've never knitted before, because then you would know that knitting is so tedious and you don't get any enjoyment out of it. It's just, I don't know, it was a crazy thing, because my whole point of crafting is to have it be enjoyable, to have it be relaxing. Yes, there are times that it can stress you out, but not even like stress you out. It could just kind of get on your nerves a little bit because it's not going the way you want it to. I don't think that would be stressing you out. So I'm kind of a little off on that part of her thinking, but I I know some people aren't in the craft to enjoy themselves. They're more to, I think maybe when you transition from hobby to selling, I don't even really want to say that though. There's a fine line, I think, where, you love it and then you start to see it as tedious because you aren't doing it for the right reasons. And I think that's kind of where I felt either just the character, but I kind of felt like maybe it was coming from the author as well. Because sometimes I feel like the author kind of imbues themselves into their character, and I kind of feel like that was one of those statements that kind of slid through there. But hopefully I'm wrong, because I never want anybody to feel that crafting will make them stressed out or make them feel bad about themselves, or, you need to do it for the love of it. yes, you can sell your things and whatnot, but do it for the love of it. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I'm not rambling too much about that. And hopefully I gave you a pretty good idea about the book. Yeah, I loved the first half. I actually couldn't put it down for a little bit until the middle, and then I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna take a break now. And I never like to put a book down in the middle, because then I'm very tempted to not pick it back up. Although I almost do, because I can never leave a book just sitting without finishing it. One of my annoying quirks there. It's like movies. I really hate movies, but then I'm like, I have to finish it because I started it. And I know that's such a horrible thing to think. But I've gotten better. I've started to, turn the movie off if I don't like it. So maybe I can start doing that with books. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this crafty book talk. Hopefully you got a little snippet of something or other. I hope you're having a crazy day. Good crazy, not bad crazy. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.